go. As long as where you want to go is good, not to be an
France, Germany, Netherlands, Turkey, I say UAE, South Africa, France, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Turkey, and Ghana. Recharge a minimum of 5,000 naira.
92.3 FM, and you're on to Soni Irabor Live. And today we have a very special guest in the studio, His Excellency Governor Akinwumi Ambode. And first, before we bring him on, his profile.
Akinwumi Dapo Ambode was born on June 14, 1963 at the Ekpe General Hospital, Ekpe, Lagos, as the sixth of 10 children. His late father, Festus Akinwale Ambode, was a teacher, while his mother, Christiana,
Welcome to the program. It's been the whole tweet, social media, and all the phones. They've all been agog. They want to hear His Excellency as he talks to us. How has Lagos Day been? It's been about 146 days now.
Yeah, that's true.
How has it been for you?
No,
Adventurous?
I wouldn't use that word adventurous, but the truth is, Lagos has always been my life. I've worked there for 27 years.
Yes.
So it's like coming back to do the same thing I've always known how to do. It's been very interesting.
Now, being directly at the helm of affairs and knowing how massive Lagos is, about 20 or more million people, right? That's bigger than many countries I can think of.
Absolutely.
And I've been asking myself, how are you coping with it? The demands must be very high.
I can tell you rightly, I've been prepared for this. I've always been looking forward for a day where I'll be able to make positive difference in any place I find myself. So the truth is this, I've always prepared myself for leadership, and with all the things I've done in my life, this is one challenge that I believe I can always, overcome. And I'm in it, I'm going to do it, and people will get to see it.
Now, since the 29th of May, we've had a series of, first, let's look at it at the national level before people come to Lagos. First, it started with very good electricity supply, then suddenly, in the last few weeks or so, I hate to say it, but I don't know what is happening, nationwide for that matter. And of course, Lagos is the heartthrob of the country. And you find that electricity has become a very difficult thing. I don't know whether at national level, whether you've all discussed it.
No, it's been discussed. We need to explain to our people what we're into is a situation where we need to understand deeply what's going on. Okay. There's no way you want to come from the campaign mode to the CEO mode and you want to use the same platform. The truth is that being a CEO, you need to understand everything that's going on before you can launch yourself to say you want to proceed. And what you've seen at the federal level is almost the same thing that is happening in almost all the states. The issue of electricity is the challenges are deeper than what we're experiencing. And as you're changing the management, you see quick responses to the issues that are jamming to electricity. But thereafter, there are more fundamental issues that relate to supply and demand of electricity. And that's why you see that somehow something is looking good and then suddenly those issues are propping up and they need to be redressed and addressed.
Okay.
And that's what you see that the federal government is trying to do also.
Okay. Well, at the Lagos state level, I know that you were very good with, I think, IPP, so the Independent Power Supply. Is that still on?
The IPP is on and it's thriving.
Okay.
We have 5 IPPs in Lagos. The IPP has an Independent Power Project.
But yes.
And all combined, the 5 is giving us 47.5 kilowatts of electricity supply.
Okay.
But it's restricted to public utilities.
Yeah.
When I say public utilities now, schools, hospitals, and government properties.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, it's not something that it's being supplied to the public or residences or companies.
Yeah.
So what you have is we are not actually using up the total of that 47.5.
Okay.
What Lagos needs is almost 10,000
Kilowatts.
Kilowatts.
A megawatt.
But the truth is kilowatts. But
Yeah.
the truth is that Lagos is even getting the supply less than 1,000.
Wow.
So the IPP that Lagos State is even supplying is 47.5. So it's not even
Anywhere near
the kind of solution we're looking at. But you know what I've done in the last 5 months is, without trying even to pretend,
Yes.
I know that there's a challenge of electricity supply in Lagos. We're looking at new ways of creating clusters of IPPs
Okay.
where we can phase industrial zones. You can imagine if we're able to just even do just like 50 kilowatts of electricity supply to Alaba International Market.
Yes.
Such clusters are the kind of things that we're thinking of. But the truth also is that don't forget the fact that the policies that relate to power, they're actually in the hands of the federal government. While the federal government is trying to form its own cabinet, we are more or less in the state preparing for that policy direction in respect of power tariffs and everything, and in a way where we'll be able to now bring all those our investors to come and invest in power supplies.
Okay.
So the truth is, why trying to combine with the issues that relate to power from the federal government, Lagos State on its own is also waiting and planning to see how we can solve power issues in Lagos State.
Independent of the federal.
No, together with them.
Together.
But again, the policy direction will allow all our investors to be able to go into that area.
Okay. All right. Now, Lagos, Eko Nibaje, I've heard that before quite a few times, and I've seen Lagos as the potpourri of Nigeria. But I'm also seeing Lagos as a place that everybody wants to go to. How are you managing the numbers?
If let's look at the population of Lagos. I mean, right now, Lagos is like 20 million plus, and it's still counting. Ever since I was sworn in, and anybody can check these numbers, we've had more people coming into Lagos than ever before. There are more foreigners and there are more Nigerians coming to Lagos. And the truth is that Lagos is the only state that is actually working right now. Because in other states, people are shifting towards Lagos, believing that that's the prosperity where they can pick their prosperity from. And that's what we're preaching, and that's the truth. We want a more prosperous Lagos. Lagos that is safer, Lagos that is cleaner. And with the efforts that we've been making, more Nigerians are believing in Lagos and they're coming in. So with all the kind of opportunities that you get in Lagos, they also come with the challenges. And in those challenges, that's what you begin to see issues that relate to traffic gridlock, the issues that relate to more people coming into Lagos, having no place to stay. I mean, typical issues that relate to any cosmopolitan city-state.
Yeah.
That's what you get in Lagos. Because you also find that more foreigners are in Lagos than ever before. Because they believe that the time is ripe for Nigeria to thrive. And when you're looking at commercial activities in Nigeria, it's Lagos that you have to look into. I mean, in the last few months, the foreign direct investment that has come into Nigeria, over 95% of that is actually better than Lagos.
Well, that's a plus for us, isn't it?
It is, but like I said, for every opportunity, there are almost like 3 other challenges coming in it.
Yes.
And that's why we are in government believing that we create a very good balance to make sure that Lagos becomes more thriving, that it's more commerce that is coming to Lagos. At the end of the day, there will be greater job opportunities for these younger ones that we have come there to protect.
Okay. Well, we're coming back to the influx of people into Lagos and security questions. So, but after the messages, we'll be right back.
The most exciting thing about being a loyal Etisalat customer is that they appreciate you.
Governor of Lagos State. And this is his choice by Midnight Crew, Igwe. Don't want to call their names. Coming into Lagos, and there were arrests made. Is this confirmed, sir?
It is, but the truth is, I mean, that's something that is continuous. But somehow, I mean, that's what you see in the media presently. It's not as if this is the first time. I mean, these are things that have been done quietly several times and years past. And we just want to be rest assured that our security agencies are working and they're doing their best to make sure that Lagos is continually safe. That's just the message to everybody.
So, the people should just not be scared of anything. Should go about their normal duties?
Absolutely.
Now, what about the tanker drivers problem? What's happening? There's been a lot of traffic gridlock in the last few weeks.
It's not limited to tanker drivers alone.
Okay.
Like I said, Lagos is a city-state, it's cosmopolitan, it's compact, and with the kind of population that we have, these are the kind of things you see in this kind of situation. But the truth is this, the supply of fuel is limited to Apapa axis alone.
Okay.
The other alternative is in Mosemi in Ogun State. But because of pipeline vandals, there's never been any supplies from Atlas Cove to Mosemi in Ogun State, maybe in the last 3 months. So all the other states, rather than them stopping at Mosemi in Ogun State to pick up supplies, they end up coming into Apapa. So you have almost like 3,000 tankers in Lagos State on a daily basis.
What are you doing to control this?
So the bottom line is this: the federal government, in which we're in talks with them, they control the supplies. They also control the Apapa Expressway. There's a tanker terminal that the federal government has actually built in front of Tinkan Island, of which these tankers have not been able to access just because there's a federal government project also that has been left uncompleted. So in the last 2 months, all our efforts, just driven towards that aspect that the contractors should come and finish up the job. But I'm happy to report that the contractor is back on site. So in that wise, once the federal government is able to finish that particular bridge that links up to the Tinkan Island terminal, you'll be able to get at least 1,000 of those tankers off the road.
So,
but in the interim,
yes,
I've had to put a joint task force in that place in the last 3 months, and I'm committed to doing that till when they finish. And that's why you see there's a semblance of orderliness in that area. But again, the traffic issue is not limited to Apapa alone. It's almost everywhere. When there's a spillover from Apapa, it goes to Western Avenue, and from there to Ikorodu Road. And Lagos is just one single road network. If anything happens on Ikorodu Road, it spills over to Third Mainland. And you have such issues. Under the rainy season, it's very obvious. Anytime there is rain, there will be traffic after that. Lagos is below sea level. Lagos also, the roads, they are easy to get bad in the sense that any small thing that happens,
the whole place is flooded.
That's the
but
truth.
There's a challenge in this. Maybe you want to consider talking to a country like Netherlands, because Amsterdam is 150 feet below sea level. But they were able to dike the water in such a way that it sucked water back into the ocean. I don't know how they did it, but I think it's worth considering, because if Lagos is below sea level, it's one aspect that is worth looking at, because Lagos is massive. In fact, it's almost 3 times or 4 times the size of Amsterdam.
No, let me even tell you, beyond that, Lagos has a shoreline of almost 180 kilometers, from Badagry to Ekpe and all that.
Yeah.
But the truth is this: in the short run, we'll use everything possible to make sure that the traffic flows. But in the medium term, we all have to accept that the errors of the past has to be faced and then resolved. Maybe during my own tenure. The truth is this: you cannot use just one mode of transportation, which is road, to move 20 million people around the place. That's the truth. Look, even when you go to Heathrow, anytime you land in London in the morning and you want to move to West End, It can take you like 2 hours before you do that in the morning. But again, you never experience that in London because they go through the tube, and also, they use water transportation. That's where Lagos is facing. My predecessor has done so much in that respect. We have the blue line that will move from Mile 2 to CMS. We have the cable car that is coming up. But again, water transportation can solve a whole lot of some of these challenges.
Yeah.
One feature of Lagos is water. But again, we can't move people on water, and that's why I'm inviting a whole lot of investors to take advantage of this. And maybe in another 2 years, we would have resolved the issue of traffic permanently.
Well, that's good to hear. Some people are sending tweets here. Somebody is asking, there are many abandoned projects. Among them are the Obalende roundabout by P&T and the road that links Ikoyi Club by First Avenue. Crime is also on the increase, according to this question. Do you want to look at that? And use that and use that as a basis to answer similar questions.
No,
abandoned projects.
No, we can't actually call them abandoned projects. I mean, some of these contractors, they've been paid, and we're trying to make sure that they come back to site. There are some of those projects also that need funding, and people need to understand that so much has been done to make sure that people are paid. But the truth is this: the federal government is actually not doing well, and Nigeria is experiencing some hardship in terms of revenues coming in. We all know that the price of crude oil has gone down, and it's not going to come up in the next 1 year. That's the truth. So we have to continually look inwards and try to fund everything from the Nigeria that we have. But the other part of it that I want to talk is, we will make sure that all our projects are activated and every contractor comes to site. I'm particular about even the one on that club road in Ikoyi, and we've told PW that they should come back to site to finish it. That's the beauty of that place. That's the only way we can get the advantage of the Glover Road network that has been done. The other part of the question is on security.
Yes.
I like Lagosians as much as possible to know that even as the CEO of this state, the police is not directly, reporting to us. We are only complementing and supporting all the efforts of the security agencies. As we speak today, there are only 33,000 policemen to watch over 20 million of us. So obviously, whatever it is that we can do, which is our own approach, we continue to support them in terms of equipment. But I am committed to using technology to support the security agencies, and that's what we are doing.
Okay.
Some week, maybe in another 3 to 4 weeks, you will see some of those things that we're talking about. I'm happy, the private sector is supporting us heavily. Just recently, we did a security trust fund appeal, and we're able to get a whole lot of money from the private sector because they know that we are committed to solving security issues in Lagos. I just want to appeal to Lagosians, they just bear with us. We are limited by these factors that I'm enumerating. But again, we cannot fold our arms and believe that we should be drowned by our challenges. We're going into the drawing board. We are joining hands with all the security agencies to make sure that security is of paramount importance to us. Because without security, you cannot get investment here. And we're looking for job opportunities for everybody.
The issue of Okada just comes naturally into bear in this particular issue of security.
Yes.
Many Lagosians are worried. Well, it's a cross-carpet thing, double-edged sword if you ask me. Okada, many people are worried about the way Okada operates with impunity, and there are those who depend so much on Okada as well. So how do we now blend this whole demand of, they are not a threat to our lives, and at the same time, they obey the rules and the regulations, while they provide the necessary traffic?
No, you've just said it. This is like a cross-carpet stuff. The truth is this. Personally, even without me being a governor, I can never be happy that in a city-state like Lagos, you're having Okada as a means of moving people around. It's not right. It's not acceptable. But again, it's a means of employment to our people. Even just when Okada, they were restricted on some particular highways not to go there. some of our own citizens went to court to challenge government. But again, you know, it's neither here nor there. It's one of those failings that you observe. If we had our way, we'll invest with other people to make sure that we have everybody moving in a civilized manner. But again, Okada, as we have seen, and people are not saying that, it could also be a security threat to all of us, because most of those crimes committed, they've been traced back to these Okada riders. So while we're trying to create a balance of job opportunities, sanity on our roads, at the same time, you need to look at the security issues that relate to this thing, the Okada movement. And that's why they've been restricted on some places, not to move around. Again, when we check our statistics, we'll find out also that by restricting them away from the highways, we've reduced the number of people who are in our orthopedic hospitals. Because one life saved is more important than whatever revenue I'm generating from the Okada rider. So people have to understand that these are issues that confront government, that most times you create a balance and you also want to create sanity in the city.
Is Lagos like New York?
I like it to be like that.
I'm asking these questions because New York has network of roads, you have bridges all over the place, and then Lagos is peculiar. You have a lot of roundabouts. They are not rounding any bout. I'm sorry to say, but I mean, what are you doing, sir, to ensure that these roads, inner roads, outer roads, have a continuum that can help ease the tension we're talking about?
Let me be straight with you. There are 9,953 roads in Lagos State.
Are they enough, sir?
No, I'm not even talking about no. I'm trying to tell you the way they've been divided. 3,000 of those roads belong to the state government. Almost 7,000 of that, 6,835 belong to local governments, which are the inner roads.
Okay.
And then 117 of those roads are actually belonging to the federal government. Now, the bottom line is this. Are the roads enough? Never. They are not. But are we even able to sustain them and make sure that they are good roads? The answer is neither here nor there, because the resources that are actually coming into the hands of the local government and sometimes to the state government, they are not enough to even sustain this 9,900 roads. And you have other sectors that you want to also deal with and resolve. So you create a balance also. Do you want to increase taxes so that you can use these taxes to do all these roads? The answer is also no, because we do not want to put additional pain into the hands of our people. So you continually, juggle between creating a balance of sanity and also being fair, but at the same time you need to do the work. So people need to understand that the basic things that we need to do, we do it. Right now, I've committed 114 roads to local governments that they must do it jointly, and there will be standard roads. On my own part, even within this last 4 months, I've done 220 roads. But again, I'm more critical about the ones where our people are massively settled and they've been complaining for years past. And we've been very responsive about this.
Okay. All right, we're taking another break, and when we get back, there will be more questions regarding how the people themselves can help Lagos State government to help themselves. Well, we'll be back after the break.
One thing about being an entrepreneur.
Now we are going to phone call.
Self-explanatory, the thing is open arms, open heart, and an open person. So the truth is this: I keep on trying to do my best to touch people and then live an open life, and that's why each time anybody tries to do email to me or write me or say things, I listen to them. I make sure that I'm listening to everything that any critic will say. Most of those things really help you to do better.
Okay, we'll start taking calls very shortly, but let me ask you one question from short messaging service. Your Excellency, what department is responsible for monitoring Face Me, I Face You houses without proper toilets? And does Lagos grant approval to such houses? This is from Caleb. He didn't say from where he's calling.
No, I'm not too sure there is any house in Lagos now that is not having a proper toilet, because we've abolished all those instruments that make people not to have proper toilets. But the truth is, it's the Ministry of Health, but more importantly, in the Department of Environmental Health at the local government level. They are actually the ones that go around to ensure that houses are properly put in the shape that they are supposed to be and provide toilets. If he has instances where properties are in existence without proper toilets, it should be easy for him to get across to us. We'll look at that and address it.
Okay, another question is, what's government doing about, ask the governor about LASMA, and also what do you want to be remembered for after your tenure? We have just started, so I don't know whether you should be asking that question. But anyway, LASMA, there's been all kinds of stories and rumors and all that.
No, I'm happy. Somebody's asking about LASMA. Before I came into office, I'd always said I want an administration with a voice. I believe in inclusive governance. And one of the basic principles of good governance is that you must give people a voice. So when people talk about issues that relate to what they want, I listen and I try to act. One of the things that I quickly picked up when I came in was that they don't like the issue that relate to traffic. And then LASMA is always troubling them, impounding their vehicles and taking money and all that. And I look for a way that, one of the ways I can respond is to make sure that, I try to create a civil society here where things are done professionally. So it's in response to complaints I've picked up that I said, LASMA, don't impound vehicles, but let's try the concept of ticketing. Because by the time you impound...
like they do in London.
Do you understand? By the time you impound a trailer or a bus full of loaves, the economy of it's going to perish, and again the person will still have to pay maybe a few days later, and the economy is typically grounded. If you do that for like 200 cars in a day, am I growing the economy of Lagos, or I'm destroying it as against the revenue I want to make from it? So my own judgment was that, look, allow the economy to continue to flow. The person can be allowed to go ticket the person, and then within 7 days the person can go and pay. All that was just to create
that creates sanity.
Because the whole essence of LASMA is to allow free flow of traffic. That was the basis. But the truth also that I found out is that I actually don't have enough LASMA officers on the road, and which I'm trying to address.
Okay. All right. Well, now I've been given 15 more minutes on the program. I'm happy about that. Your Excellency, thank you for sparing us that. We have callers. Hello. 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 Hi. How are you? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes.
You said you're going to use the technology to act. But just I was thinking, in Lekki, there was this incident that of dead were not the government, and the guys went through the river. Then in Ekpe, no, not in Ekpe, in the Ikorodu area, it happened, they went through the river. Then the last one that occurred around Festa, they went through the river. Is it not possible for Lagos State to call the support that given to people to give them one helicopter as the case may be? So when things like this occur, you know that and maybe you just call the number and the helicopter will go and chase them, so that these robbers will know that they will not be able to.
Okay. All right. Let me advise, please. I want to beg all those who are calling. We'll take some calls before you answer, sir. Go straight to the point. When I send messages on social media, I say, please be brief about your questions, because you might stand the risk of answering the questions before you finish asking them. Hello.
Hello?
Yes. How are you? Good afternoon. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Go ahead. Where are you calling from? And what your name? Okay. From what part of Nigeria? Lagos. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, hello. Hello. Hi, how are you? Very brief to the point, please. All the questions you must be asking straight to the point. 30 seconds. Okay. No, your line is breaking. We say, how can you what? Okay. Yeah, okay, you are complaining that last month people are not ready to work. How can you get them to work? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Hello. Straight to the point, please. Your name and where you're calling from. 30 seconds. Okay. Ogun State. Yeah, go ahead. When you say Ogun State, what part, what city, what town? Irabor. Okay, go ahead. Physically challenged. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. You're over 30. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello. Question 30 seconds. Your name and where you're calling from. Straight to the point, please. Hello. Okay. You lost your chance. Hello. Hello. How are you? Hello. Somebody there? Good afternoon. You didn't know I've come to you. Go ahead. Yeah. Good. Traffic, as in what part of Nigeria? Okay, go ahead. All right. 30 seconds. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to give His Excellency a chance now to answer these questions while we prepare for another set of questions. In fact, the last one is the roundabout, and then the one we got last was the visually impaired. What moves are you going to use to help them? And then you wrote the others down. Go ahead, please.
Firstly, to thank all the people that have asked questions, and this is the gist of this program. I think the first one was on security issues.
Security, yeah.
And whether I could provide helicopters to fight crime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm equally disturbed about this new trend of crime waves that you actually see these criminals escaping through the waterways. But again, like we said, you know, waterways is supposed to be secured by the marine police and also the naval officers.
Naval police, yes.
Yes. But again, we can only support and complement the efforts of these security agencies. And that we've been doing in the past, that we are more committed to do now. In another, like I said, just watch out in another 3 to 4 weeks. We've already committed. I can tell Lagosians freely, because this is of major concern to me, because I know that security is just the outlet to the economic upturn of Lagos. We're committed to supplying 3 helicopters in the next 3 to 4 weeks, and they will actually be their rescue and security helicopters that will actually be doing a whole lot on traffic, security, recovery. A huge plan coming, and Lagosians will see it just before the end of November. So we're not doing just one, we're doing 3, just to make sure that at least we will be able to support from the air. And also we're doing platforms for the Navy. We're in the process of procuring platforms for the Navy, gunboats and all that. And to also give to them and the Marine Police also to be able to, you know, cover our waterways. because we know that the federal government cannot do it alone. And this is more about Lagosians. So we cannot afford to continually wait for the federal government and then, not be able to secure the lives of our people.
Yes, sorry, before you go to the next one, the current government is the ruling party government. So I expect that there will be better cooperation, wouldn't there?
Absolutely, there is. But again, one thing we need to understand is that the appropriation for 2015, that's the budget for 2015, was actually done by the previous government.
Okay.
So you cannot expend monies for which has not been appropriated. That's what people need to understand. So you need to flow with the budget that was approved by the National Assembly, same thing as by the House of Assembly, till the end of the year, before you can be able to also recreate your budget. Okay. So some of those items that come up and complaints that are coming up, we want to be accountable, and we cannot misappropriate what has not been approved. So we will find just around that to flow with what has been approved up to December, before we can create solutions for some of these things. Yes, we'll be coming to your neighborhood, and I've already noted Omilani additional streets, and we'll find a way to address it as quickly as possible. We talked about also there was a question on the court judgment in relation to local government caretaker committees. Yes, we know we are committed to upholding the rule of law. And that was a ruling that was given on Friday. We are yet to receive the ruling, and whatever it is that is appropriate for us to act on, we will do that immediately. But I can be rest assured that we're a government that will uphold the rule of law. Okay. But we'll also take proper actions to see how we can respond to that. Okay. On the Aguda roads also, as I visit, we go to different places. Well, I'll take note of all those ones. I'll also make sure that I see the road by myself. Somebody asked about LASMA people, they are not working, and I can tell you that there are just about 700 LASMA people on all these 9,900 roads in a day. The total number of people employed in LASMA is 2,100, and they do shifts. So in those 3 shifts, at any point in time, you only have 700. Even on the Ikorodu road to CMS, you need almost by 200. But the truth is, as much as we are trying to, reorientate the attitude of our workers, and I'm committed to public sector reforms, and that's what I've been doing. But in addition to that, I've also seen that there's a need for us to employ more people. I'm looking for graduates who are selfless, who will be able to commit themselves to making life easier for Lagosians. So most likely, as we talk to them, we're in the process of employing more LASMA officials. Lagos has an office of disabilities, which we try to address issues relating to physically challenged people. The person that had spoken, I'm interested in even creating a platform that will make opportunities equally available to all of them. Okay. Just the same thing as the rest of Lagosians. I want to let you know that beyond the fact that you have applied, if you can, if it's possible for you to email me, I can look at that. But there is a more robust plan that is coming for people with disabilities. I'm committed to that particular aspect of the society, and in everything that we do, we'll make sure that they are equally carried along.
What email can they get you on? Is there an email they can reach you on? Because if you send
it's up there.
Okay. I'll get in touch with the CPS and who will announce it. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the last one was on Lekki traffic. Look, I feel the pain. I'm also always in traffic there when I go into the axis, and I always try to feel what they are feeling. I make sure that I don't use siren because I really want to be part of the whole process. I can tell you about those roundabouts. They've been there. They look like they are not working. They are too big. But the bottom line is, in modern day road network, you cannot afford to put traffic lights around roundabouts anymore. But like we said, we have done reordering of our budget. I'm committed to a flyover on the Ajah roundabout itself. Okay. And then we'll see the inner roads from that Lekki axis that actually go into Admiralty Road.
Okay.
which we can create some kind of diversion for people who are going to the mainland, and then they can face the Lekki-Ikoyi link bridge without going through Ozuba and Batway.
Okay.
But again, like I said, budgetary restrictions, because these are provisions that are not in the budget for 2015, but they're in the plan for what we are doing for 2016. But we'll make sure that we start something on that run, the flyover,
okay,
before the year runs out.
Okay, and we're taking more calls. Hello. Hi, how are you? Good afternoon. Yes, Nika is calling from what part of the world? You're calling from where? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Hello. That's electricity, Lekki Free Trade Zone, no electricity for the past 4 or 5 months. What are you doing about that? But before you answer, hello. Good afternoon, name and place of call, 30 seconds. From where? Ago Okota. Okay, yes, go ahead. Yeah. The plans for Okota Road. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Hello. How are you? Hello. Are you there? Okay. That one lost out. Hello. How are you? 30 seconds. Name, place of call.
My name is Ademilola. I'm calling from Egota.
Okay. It's still afternoon in this part of the world. Yes.
I still want to call your attention to the deplorable growth in Egota. It's actually really bad. I will need its attention urgently. I think it's doing a very good work on the mission without Irabor Road. But Egota Road is really bad.
Really bad. Ambode Road, very bad. Okay. Thank you. Hello. 30 seconds. Your name, please. Are you there? Okay. I've lost that one again. Hello. 30 seconds. How are you? Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Yes. Your name? Your name is what again? Leonard. Okay, okay, go ahead. Yaba. Oh. I was a victim of that. Wow. Okay, so what's the question?
Yes, thank you. I just want to thank all the people that asked questions. The first one was on electricity in the Lekki axis. Just to let you know, the Lekki axis has been without light in the last 5 years, not even 5 months. From the Akodo point up to the end of the Lekki Bejo axis, which is Odeomi. They've not had light in the last 5 years. And you know, when I went to the free trade zone, that was when I got to know about it face to face with the communities. And in just 2 weeks ago, we had actually awarded the contract to fix up that challenge, affecting 63 communities in that place.
That's a huge
costing us to the tune of maybe 600 million naira to do that. Ordinarily, it should be done by the DISCO, but that's the distribution company.
Okay.
But again, you know, I needed to have done that in order to alleviate the challenges in that place.
But the disco people are feeling helpless as well. What exactly is happening to them? Are you aware by any chance? I know it's a federal government thing.
Yeah, exactly, it's a federal government thing, so I don't want to talk about it here.
No, but Your Excellency, you can't run away from that.
No, I'm not running away. I'm saying that in areas where I need to do something for my people, I will not wait for the DISCO or wait for the federal government.
Okay.
Which is what I've done.
Okay.
Here.
Right. Yes.
The next question was on Ago Okota Road. I like to tell the person the contractors are back on site. They've been there in the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
You could just drive there and check. And they've also promised me that they will finish that road before Christmas.
Okay.
Yes, deplorable road in Ambode. You know, I'm already in that axis.
Egbeda is such an old story.
No. I drove from Ikotun to Egbe.
Okay.
And that was the part that, I mean, we've almost finished that in the last 2 months.
Okay.
And this is an extension of where they're talking about. So I also know I don't need to visit Egbeda Road. I have a very strong notification on my desk about Egbeda Road. Like I said, budgetary provisions sometimes limit us as to how many places we can go at the same time.
Okay.
But at least immediately we'll direct the new commissioner and all the people in the team in Ministry of Works to do something about Egbeda Road.
Okay.
The other one was about Monile and the issues relating to that.
That's a serious one. We have so many of such questions here too.
But as much as possible, we have laws that we are enforcing to make sure that, I mean, we don't have issues of people, you know, cheating each other based on trying to acquire property. And I'm carrying out reforms in the Lands Bureau also to ensure that we do things professionally and make sure that we protect Lagosians from the hands of some of these people that try to claim their land grabbers.
Okay.
But above all, the kind of medium-term and long-term solution that I'm trying to have now is that by the time we come out with the direction that we're going, we should be able to, you know, buy or sell land in Lagos from our desk or from our homes, and that's where we're going. We believe strongly that we can do a lot more about technology with GIS and be able to do land administration in a manner that will eliminate this old story about land grabbers forever. Okay. And that's the paradigm shift that you notice next year. Lagos Island roads, there are some of them that are already being done, and the areas where they're going, Public Works Corporation will visit the island and see which part of it that we can also quickly support. I'm aware of Isheri Oshun and Jakonde Road, up to that Ikotun Road. I know and I accept. Just bear with me. As much as my money, the resources can avail me, I'll make sure that I visit everywhere. You know, the whole of the mainland needs attention, and that's actually the direction that we're going. I'm not saying that the island does not need, but you know, you must continually create a balance. And then I'll make sure that this is also addressed. The last person, yes, I appreciate your comments. You cannot, you know, we're not in a position where we're trying to, you know, compare one administration against the other. Yes, it's continuity, but the truth is that the variables and the factors prevailing as at time X and time Y, they may not be the same. So with continuity with improvement. There are things that we cannot continue. It's just the same way. We don't want to continue where last man will be impounding vehicles and be jumping into your cars. So the next thing is to try and improve that and say, don't jump into people's car because these people voted for us. So that's my clear example of what you mean by continuity with improvement. And that's what I believe in. We're all of the same party, but again, you can't, change is eminent everywhere. And what is good today might not just be something good tomorrow. So where you see where we're making changes is to improve on the things that we have met on ground. I just want you to appreciate also that 4 months in the life of an administration that's going to do 4 years is not enough for you to create a direction, because a person that is going to win a marathon must calculate the way he's going to win the race. You cannot just jump in top speed and continually make mistakes. So I just want to appeal to people, you know, they should bear with us, they should tolerate us, and then just watch and see what is going to happen. It's continuation with improvement, and that's what this whole story is all about.
Okay, we're in the last batch, and we're taking a short break now. After the messages, we'll go back to the various questions about security, police, and then crime after hours, after 9 p.m. Then, of course, there's also the problem of rent increases. People are just sending so many messages, but we'll be back soon.
Mr. Debo, the truth is this, beyond the electricity in the Bejuleke axis, yes, there are roads there also. We're not noting them also. And you talked about that government public school. I'll directly, look at it and see what it is that I can quickly do to that. But to let you know that, every division in Lagos State and every senatorial district is being covered by us. And we'll try as much as possible to spread, infrastructure equitably to every location that God has given us strength to go also. The rest assured, I'll come to that area to see what's going on. There's also a question about the slow walk on Ejigbo Ikotun Road. I want to tell you, that's one long road. It's from Ikotun to that Isola axis. And you need to understand also that it's not something that can be done just the way you're saying it. Even when you do the drainage, you have to also give time also, and then bear with us. I've noted what you said, and also I'm going to call on the Public Works Corporation also to fasten that work, and that thing has to be completed before Christmas. On the issue of security, yes, we're doing everything humanly possible, and the area of providing equipment and cameras and every other thing for the security agencies, we are continuing where the last governor, Governor Fashola stopped, and believing also that we can improve on that to make sure that the state becomes safer, and that's what I'm committed to doing. You also talked about the government providing refinery in Lekki. To quickly correct you, the government doesn't have such resources to do a refinery. But in the Lekki Free Trade Zone, Alhaji Aliko Dangote has been gracious enough to make sure that he's citing that refinery in that free trade zone. And like you would have, I don't know whether you read it 2 days or 3 days ago, they've already started construction work. And even with his petrochemical factory that he's setting up, I believe strongly that the petrochemical company will commence production next year, and then this refinery will be in 2017. So a whole lot coming up in Lagos. The bottom line is for us to continually attract local and foreign investors into the city, and to make sure that they create job opportunities for all those that are younger ones that are in need of job. And at the end of the day also we'll be able to get revenue from such businesses, which we will now use to provide all these roads, bridges, water, hospitals that all of us are yearning for.
All right, so Your Excellency, thank you so much. You're just right on time. We're running off in just 1 minute. And any message to the people, your people of Lagos?
We're in this together. All Lagosians, I've said it, it's your government, you put me there, I'm your servant. I'm ready for criticism. I like everything that is positive about everything that you're saying. I'm listening, and I believe strongly you have a voice, and that voice we must protect. It's an inclusive government. No matter where you come from, no matter where you belong to, the truth is that Lagos is for all of us. And join hands with me and just tolerate whatever it is that they are saying, and make sure that you also carry out your own civic obligations, pay your taxes. That's the only way that Lagos can grow. And the bottom line is this: we all need, all of us together, we need a safer Lagos, a cleaner Lagos, and a more prosperous Lagos. And that's what all of us are going to get.
Thank you so much. Governor Akinwumi, what's your middle name, sir? Your middle name? Dakbo Ambode.
Yes.
We're here. We thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
And for you out there, without you, there's no Soni Irabor Live, there's no Inspiration FM. So thank you for being what you are to us all the time.